Ironwood's heartbeat is a mournful requiem, its streets shrouded in a fog that clings like a specter of despair, as if the city itself weeps for its lost spirit. The guttural roar of motorcycles pierces the night, their headlights slicing through the mist like the predatory gaze of beasts claiming their dominion. The Deadly Biker Mafia has forged an empire of terror, transforming Ironwood from a vibrant community into a labyrinth of fear where hope is a fragile whisper in the shadows. Their influence seeps into every crevice, from bustling markets where vendors cower under menacing stares to silent residential alleys where families bolt their doors against the specter of retribution. Shopkeepers surrender their earnings with trembling hands, their livelihoods bled dry by extortion. Dissenters vanish without a trace, their fates a chilling warning etched into the city's collective psyche. The mafia's reach extends beyond brute force, infiltrating local governance with bribes, rigging elections to install puppet officials, rewriting laws to fortify their strongholds, controlling a corrupted hospital that overcharges desperate patients, orchestrating a gentrification scheme that displaces residents for luxury complexes, and deploying a rogue AI system, Nexus, to monitor dissent and sabotage public services like water and power. They've exploited an environmental crisis, a polluted river poisoning Ironwood's water supply, to extort exorbitant prices for clean water, tightening their grip on a desperate populace. They also run an underground fight club, forcing citizens to compete for survival while betting on their pain for profit, and have sabotaged an archaeological dig that threatens to reveal Ironwood's pre-mafia history. Yet, amidst this suffocating darkness, a solitary figure emerges, a man whose spirit refuses to break under the weight of tragedy. His name is Keanu, a warrior sculpted by loss, his heart a crucible of vengeance and redemption, poised to ignite a revolution that could shatter the chains binding Ironwood. This is Keanu versus the Deadly Biker Mafia, a monumental saga of courage, betrayal, and the fight to reclaim a city's soul. Strap in, smash that like button, and subscribe, because this journey will redefine epic storytelling. Ironwood was once a beacon of resilience, a blue-collar haven where the rhythm of factory machinery harmonized with the laughter of children chasing fireflies in twilight parks. Markets buzzed with friendly bartering, artisans crafted goods under flickering neon signs, and annual festivals like the Ironwood Harvest filled the streets with music, dance, and the scent of street food. Community gardens bloomed along the riverbank, their flowers a testament to the city's pride, while local artists painted murals celebrating Ironwood's spirit. Neighborhoods hosted storytelling nights, where elders shared tales of a city built on unity, and an archaeological dig uncovered relics of Ironwood's founding, including a charter for a democratic council suppressed by early industrialists. A forgotten resistance hero, Nora Bright, a factory worker who rallied workers against exploitation, inspired murals, songs, and a hidden journal detailing her strategies. But that era crumbled under the wheels of the Deadly Biker Mafia's invasion, a meticulously orchestrated takeover that plunged Ironwood into an abyss of fear. Led by Scar, a towering colossus whose scarred visage mirrors a heart forged in cruelty, the gang executed their conquest with chilling precision. His lieutenants are extensions of his malevolence. Razor, a wiry fighter whose lightning-fast reflexes make him a phantom in close combat. Viper, a relentless brawler whose endurance and pain tolerance defy human limits. Raven, a digital sorceress who bends Ironwood's infrastructure. Traffic systems, security cameras, bank networks. To her will, Torque, a burly mechanic who transforms motorcycles into beasts of speed and agility. Shadow, a cunning strategist who sows discord with whispered lies. Vex, a charismatic propagandist whose silver tongue keeps the city submissive. Cinder, a former resistance fighter turned traitor, her knowledge of rebel tactics a deadly asset. Blitz, a rogue electrician who manipulates the city's power grid to enforce blackouts. Whisper, a psychological manipulator who exploits fears through targeted intimidation. Gideon, a rogue journalist who once exposed corruption but now serves the mafia, twisting narratives to crush hope. Silas, a ruthless developer who drives the gentrification scheme. Nyx, a hacker who controls Nexus. And now Kale, a former factory foreman who enforces labor compliance, crushing strikes with intimidation. The mafia's grip is absolute, extorting crippling tributes, staging public humiliations, bribing officials, running the fight club, controlling the hospital, poisoning the river with a toxic waste dump, sabotaging the dig, evicting residents, using Nexus to disrupt services and quashing labor strikes. Yet, beneath this tyranny, a clandestine resistance network, the Ironheart Collective, pulses, fueled by whispered tales of defiance in hidden basements, shuttered cafes, the polluted river's edge where a shrine to lost loved ones grows, an underground radio station, Voice of Ironwood, broadcasting coded messages, a labor strike gaining momentum, and a youth-led sabotage campaign targeting mafia infrastructure. This resistance, rooted in the legacy of the Order of the Iron Cog and Nora Bright's spirit, waits for a champion like Keanu to fan its embers into a blaze. Keanu's descent into this nightmare was not a choice but a brutal twist of fate. He was once a mechanic, his garage a sanctuary where the scent of oil mingled with the warmth of family. Sarah, his wife, was his anchor, her gentle smile coaxing his boldest designs into reality. Motorcycles that purred like panthers. Lily, their daughter, was a spark of joy, sketching fantastical bikes while perched on a toolbox, her laughter a melody that softened Ironwood's industrial grind. Their evenings were spent riding along the riverbank, the wind carrying dreams of a future untainted by fear. A newly uncovered subplot reveals a love letter from Sarah, hidden in the garage, found years later by Keanu, its words. "You are Ironwood's heart, never stop fighting," fueling his resolve. Another subplot introduces Keanu's lost sibling, Theo, who vanished as a teen, rumored to have joined the mafia, adding a personal vendetta. But the mafia's greed brooked no defiance. When Keanu refused their demands to service their fleet or pay their protection fees, Scar marked him for annihilation. One fateful night, the gang sabotaged his garage's wiring, igniting a fire that devoured everything. Keanu, returning from a late supply run, plunged into the inferno, his lungs searing as he called for Sarah and Lily. The flames were merciless, forcing him back as the structure collapsed, leaving only ashes and a man hollowed by grief. Flashbacks reveal a deeper wound, a moment of hesitation years earlier, when Keanu ignored early mafia threats, believing he could protect his family alone. A guilt compounded by a childhood memory of his grandfather, Elias, warning, "Ironwood's heart beats in its people, not its steel." Another flashback shows Elias mentoring a young Keanu, teaching him to listen to the city's pulse through its machines, and a moment where Keanu's hesitation cost a friend's life in a factory accident, deepening his self-blame. A new flashback reveals Theo's disappearance after a fight with Elias over joining the resistance, leaving Keanu torn between hope and fear of facing his brother as an enemy, and a memory of Elias gifting Keanu a mechanical pendant, a relic of the Order, symbolizing duty. For years, Keanu wandered as a nomad, haunted by nightmares of that night, his sleep plagued by visions of their faces. He rebuilt himself through relentless training, mastering martial arts disciplines like Krav Maga, Capoeira, Judo, and Aikido, which turned his body into a weapon and his surroundings into allies. Leverage, speed, and environmental awareness became his arsenal. From salvaged parts, he crafted Nightshade, a motorcycle of sleek power, its frame a symbol of his rebirth, designed for unmatched agility. Now Keanu has returned to Ironwood, carrying a mental ledger with 14 names. Razor, Viper, Raven, Torque, Shadow, Vex, Cinder, Blitz, Whisper, Gideon, Silas, Nyx, Kale, and Scar. His quest is complicated by a hidden truth. The Mafia's origins tie to a corporate conspiracy led by Victor Crane, a tycoon whose company, Crane Industries, funded Scar's rise decades ago to clear land for profit, leaving a trail of ruined lives. A deeper layer emerges. Elias led the Order of the Iron Cog against Crane, leaving a legacy encoded in a journal hidden in the family garage. The journal points to a vault in Ironwood's tunnels containing evidence of Crane's crimes, blueprints for sustainable water purifiers, relics of the Order, mechanical keys, a compass, and coded artifacts from Nora Bright. A new subplot reveals Keanu's cousin, Amara, presumed dead, is alive and leading a covert resistance cell, her survival a spark of hope and a burden, as she harbors secrets about Elias's final days and a vendetta against Silas, who displaced her family. Another subplot introduces a rogue vigilante group, the Night Sentinels, whose reckless actions threaten the resistance, a labor strike organized by factory workers inspired by Nora Bright's journal, and a youth-led sabotage campaign targeting mafia power lines. Drop a comment. Could you carry such a legacy of loss and redemption? Subscribe to unravel Keanu's epic fight. Keanu's war begins in the shadows, a silent predator navigating Ironwood's fractured heart. His first strike targets a mafia-controlled warehouse, a nerve center for their extortion rackets, nestled in the city's decaying industrial sprawl. Under the cover of a torrential storm, Keanu moves like a wraith, slipping past lookouts with the grace of a shadow. His fists, honed by years of discipline, subdue guards with precise strikes to pressure points, leaving them slumped in rain-soaked alleys. Inside, he sabotages the electrical grid, plunging the warehouse into chaos, its flickering lights mirroring the mafia's disarray. As false alarms blare, Keanu escapes on Nightshade, the storm swallowing his trail. Scar's fury shakes their headquarters, a fortified factory alive with the growl of engines and the stench of oil. Razor paces, craving a fistfight. Viper smirks, eager for a chase. Raven boots up her servers, scanning for digital footprints. Torque tweaks a prototype bike for pursuit. Shadow suggests planting lies to lure Keanu. Vex crafts a public narrative to paint the sabotage as a rival gang's work. Cinder tracks Resistance whispers, her loyalty wavering. Blitz proposes a citywide blackout. Whisper spreads rumors of Keanu's instability. Gideon publishes vilifying articles. Silas plans to raise a neighborhood. Nix weaponizes Nexus to track Keanu. And Kale intimidates striking workers. Unbeknownst to them, Keanu's act ignites the Ironheart Collective, with citizens sharing tales of a mysterious avenger in secret gatherings at shuttered cafes, hidden basements, the polluted river's edge where the shrine grows, via coded broadcasts on Voice of Ironwood, at the archaeological dig, during a labor strike chanting Nora Bright's name, and through youth sabotage of mafia power lines. Keanu's solitary crusade evolves as he finds allies in Ironwood's underbelly, each carrying scars that mirror his own. In a smoky bar on the city's edge, where the air is thick with unspoken grievances, he meets Mara, a former mafia rider who defected after Scar's betrayal left her with a scarred cheek and a heart hardened by loss. Her knowledge of the gang's operations is a goldmine, but her trust is a fortress. Eli joins them, a young tech prodigy whose family's diner was crushed by the mafia's greed, his drones and hacking skills a counter to Raven's and Nix's digital reign. Lena, the bar's owner, brings sharp instincts and a network of informants, her husband's death from despair fueling her resolve. Jax, Keanu's old mentor, emerges from seclusion, his wisdom and knowledge of Ironwood's tunnels invaluable. Clara, a schoolteacher, organizes the Ironheart Collective's secret meetings, her resolve a beacon. Mia, a shopkeeper coerced into spying, seeks redemption. Tomas, a former factory worker with ties to Elias, offers historical insights. Nora, a counselor seeking atonement, provides insider knowledge. Samir, a street performer, exposes the Fight Club. Amara, Keanu's cousin, leads a resistance cell, her survival a shock. Ezra, a librarian, guards the Ironheart archive. Echo, the radio DJ, rallies citizens. Dr. Elena, a hospital whistleblower, exposes mafia scams. Jonah, a former Fight Club youth, leads a teen resistance. Lila, an archaeologist, protects the dig's relics. Zara, a factory worker, organizes the labor strike. Theo, Keanu's lost sibling, is a conflicted mafia enforcer seeking redemption. New to the fold is Mira, an artist restoring Nora Bright's murals, uncovering a coded message in the paint. They coalesce in an abandoned loft, where tensions simmer. Keanu's instincts clash with Mara's teamwork, Eli's idealism grates on Lena, Jax's stories unsettle Clara, Mia's guilt isolates her, Tomas's nostalgia stirs wounds, Nora's past taints her, Samir's bravado risks exposure, Amara's secrecy unsettles Keanu, Ezra's caution slows action, Echo's anonymity raises doubts, Dr. Elena's fear tests loyalty, Jonah's impulsiveness clashes with Lila's patience, Zara's militancy divides Theo's loyalties. Threatened betrayal, and Myra's obsession with the murals distracts. A romantic tension flickers between Keanu and Mara, their glances during Nightshade training a fragile bridge. Flashbacks deepen Keanu's trauma, revealing Elias's warning, a friend's death, Sarah's letter, Theo's departure, and the pendant's significance. New subplots. The Ironheart archive holds Nora Bright's coded artifacts. A propaganda war pits Gideon's articles against Echo's broadcasts. Dr. Elena exposes hospital scams. Jonah's youth sabotage targets power lines. Lila's dig uncovers a council charter. Zara's strike halts factories. Myra's art restoration reveals a resistance code. Who's your favorite? Keanu's fire, Theo's redemption, or Myra's artistry? Comment and share. The Mafia's retaliation blends brute force, psychological warfare, systemic sabotage, personal vendettas, and gentrification. Razor ambushes Keanu in the industrial district, bikers closing on Nightshade. Keanu weaves through crates, using pipes to force crashes. Razor's brawl is a whirlwind, Keanu felling him with a sweep. Razor's words chill. Scar knows your blood. Viper lures Mara to a derelict park. Their clash undermines a test, Mara tripping Viper until Keanu tips the scales. Raven and Nyx hack billboards with Keanu's family photos. Torque chases through docks, Keanu outmaneuvering him. Vex frames Keanu as a terrorist. Shadow plants Mia as a mole. Blitz triggers a blackout. Whisper spreads fear. Gideon vilifies him. Silas evicts families. Nyx disrupts services, and Kale breaks the strike. Lena uncovers Mia's coercion, and Keanu forgives her. Cinder leaks intel. Samir frees Fight Club prisoners. Jonah sabotages power lines. Lila protects relics. Zara halts factories. Theo hesitates, and Mira decodes the mural's message. New subplots. Blitz's blackout hides a heist for purifier parts, thwarted by Eli. Whisper's vendetta ties to Elias, countered by Keanu's empathy. Gideon's betrayal, coerced by family threats, is redeemed by Dr. Elena's evidence. Silas's gentrification displaces Amara's family. The hospital scam is exposed by Dr. Elena. The Night Sentinel's vigilantism complicates plans, but Jonah aligns them. Zara's strike sparks a public standoff. Myra's mural reveals a map to Nora Bright's journal. The Ironheart Collective's cleanup initiative, led by Clara, restores the river, while Myra's art project revives murals. The Mafia's festival sabotage is thwarted by Eli's hacked screens, Keanu's chase, Mara's carousel duel, Mia's redemption, Samir's freed fighters, Amara's tactics, Ezra's maps, Echo's broadcasts, Dr. Elena's leaks, Jonah's sabotage, Lila's relics, Zara's workers, Theo's aid, and Myra's decoded map. New subplots. Voice of Ironwood's broadcasts inspire an uprising, countered by Gideon's propaganda. The dig reveals a charter. A tunnel battle uses environmental traps, flooded passages, collapsing beams, decoded by Ezra and Mira. Betrayal strikes 7 times. Eli's hack exposes the hideout. Cinder's intel is a trap. Shadow offers a deal. A hospital orderly leaks plans. A Night Sentinel betrays the resistance. Theo's ties raise doubts, and a striking worker is coerced. Keanu turns Cinder, refuses Shadow, forgives the orderly, aligns the Sentinels, trusts Theo, and rallies the worker. The Mafia's grand rally is disrupted, turning citizens against them. A citywide blackout becomes an uprising, led by Echo, Jonah, and Zara. The Ironworks showdown is a maelstrom. Eli crashes drones, Lena blocks paths, Jack sabotages machinery, Clara inspires, Mia guards exits, Nora redirects power, Samir rallies fighters, Amara outsmarts Shadow, Ezra decodes traps, Echo broadcasts, Dr. Elena exposes scams, Jonah leads teens, Lila unveils the charter, Zara mobilizes workers, Theo betrays the Mafia, and Mira guides via the mural's map. Mara defeats Viper, and Keanu battles Scar, using beams to trap him, sending him plummeting. The team restores the river, revives murals, and establishes a democratic council. Ironwood rises, Clara's council restoring democracy, Mia rebuilding, Cinder finding peace, Nora atoning, Samir freeing fighters, Amara reconnecting, Ezra preserving history, Echo inspiring, Dr. Elena healing, Jonah empowering youth, Lila safeguarding relics, Zara leading workers, Theo redeeming himself, and Mira immortalizing Nora Bright. Keanu and Mara's romance blooms, but he rides Nightshade into the horizon, Elias's legacy fulfilled. Did this saga ignite your spirit? Who's the hero, Keanu or Ironwood's people? Comment, like, subscribe, share, and check our action playlist. Thank you for this colossal journey. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more thrilling tales. The road awaits. See you next time. Text on screen. Subscribe now. Hit the bell icon, share with friends.